So,
And
so back
yeah,
to this pressurized system adjacent to a vacuum, man. How are you gonna explain that? I mean, it's basic 101 on that one, man. You can't have
Yeah,
pressure.
no, I get it. Like I said, you guys are trying to
Well, that's
convince
why. Well, you're
somebody
saying that you got to
who
check out
is
the Sumerians because they mapped out the universe, but the only thing the Sumerians could have done is just looked up at the stars and mapped out
no.
the universe
The
like
thing is, you
everybody
don't
else.
understand. So the Sumerians
No, I do.
um,
I
are
do.
are
The
effect.
Sumerians looked up at the sky and they plotted the stars because space is fake. Because you can't
No,
have a pressurized
that's
system. You
this is where
can't
you're
have a
wrong.
what would
pressurized
Okay,
system
you
next to a
what
vacuum, bro.
what is your point on the Sumerians, brother? Like, what do
the,
you
the
believe that they did
Sumerians.
that is so definitive? Because they certainly didn't do any of what we even claim to do. So
So again, you guys need to look into it a little more. But the Sumerians were basically, let's put it this way: the
Well, you said they
Babylon.
mapped out the universe, right?
Well, it's not that the Sumerians did it; it's the gods that did it. So
Well,
Babylon is
no,
the city
no,
of the
the gods
gods.
did it.
this is
So,
theological, man. We
So
can
we
be.
There's only one God. You're talking about the fallen.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the literal gods.
well, let's
Okay,
No,
just get
so
no,
back
all the
to
information that you're giving to us,
before
what is your
we
reference for that? Where are you getting this information from
I would,
specifically?
yeah, I would more prefer if we, I know I'm just a guest here, but I would much prefer if we stuck in the realm of like provability as opposed to like postulation and like
Absolutely,
the
absolutely. But you guys
philosophical
are
and
you
Yeah,
guys got to
give
like,
us
let
the
me you guys
references,
got to
give
let
us
me speak because I'm talking about something you guys don't know about. So would it be nice if you guys could hear
well,
a
no,
perspective you haven't heard
just
before?
in short words, right? In a short, like concise manner, can you formulate an argument for how the Sumerians mapped out just the Earth, or navigated the Earth? Using celestial stars in a definitive way that leads towards the conclusion that the Earth must be a sphere.
Here's the thing. I can't convince you or prove that the world is a
This is the
sphere.
argument you invoked.
But I know, but I'm just saying that they didn't discover anything. The gods told them everything. So the
All right, well,
gods who we call gods,
God told me the
they're
Earth was
not.
flat, so I don't know, buddy. I mean, it's like, now what?
if you read the Bible, it describes the Earth as flat
That
instead
is
not.
true. If you read the
The
Quran, it says the
Bible
same
is full
thing.
of lies. I can tell you
That's
that
okay.
much.
But
I
The Sumerians got it nailed up perfect there,
yeah.
or what?
So you have to put
Sumerians
it
aren't
all. You have to
liars.
put it all together. So
How do
take
you
a
know
look
the
at the king's
Sumerians aren't
list.
liars, man?
Take a look at the cuneiform. Take a look at the
How do you know that's not
actual
like,
dude.
Do you have
It has.
something?
dude? You just said the Bible's all lies and stuff, but
I
everything you
did
say
not
is
say
the
it's all
truth.
lies. It contains lies. So
What are the lies? What are the lies?
I'll tell you
I
one
got one
lie.
lie.
Okay, I'll tell you one lie. That Yahweh flooded the world. He did not.
How do you
He
know?
did. There's
There's
evidence of that at the top of mountains. There's
There you
actually
go. Okay, so you guys want to let's listen
there's
closely.
direct evidence for that.
So
yeah.
exactly, there was a flood, but Yahweh didn't do it.
How
Did
do you
This
Yahweh?
is
know, brother?
I know
Was
this
it the
because I study
Sumerians?
the Sumerian text. So this is
Oh, it's
what
the
happened.
Sumerians
You guys
again.
want to know
How
what
do you know
happened?
the Sumerians are telling you the truth, man?
Yeah,
Well, I
it's
Well,
mean,
Matt,
we
you
have to
you
go
can
off
do
of
you
read
realize
you can
how
read Sumerian text
I was gonna ask
personally
you,
yourself.
do you realize how
Yeah,
subjective
we can
this is?
read
No,
cuneiform.
no, no. I didn't say if we can. I said can you personally,
Just a
or are
second.
Yeah,
you
Like,
you're trusting somebody
yeah,
else's interpretation of the text.
yeah. I
this
know,
is
we can do it. It's
entirely
easy.
subjective, brother. Like we need
It's not
to.
subjective anymore.
Hey, can you just focus, brother? It is. It's entirely subjective. This is just conjecture, it's speculation, and like
So you don't know what I'm talking about. That's why it seems subjective. I've looked. I know.
it would be subjective.
You're not the first
You,
person to come into
you
these spaces and invoke all these discussions.
Yeah,
And
buddy.
then
I mean,
each time somebody invokes it, it's the same thing that Sully is
Okay,
talking
no,
about.
now how I know you guys don't know because you're saying the Sumerians mapped out the skies. They
listen,
didn't.
said
brother.
that.
Many
Can I
civilizations
recap?
mapped out the skies, multiple
You
civilizations
said
across the
that, man.
earth.
You said the Sumerians mapped out the universe.
I did not say that.
You
They did not
literally
do it.
said it, bro.
No, the gods did it. I told you the
The
gods did
gods
it.
did it now.
Okay.
First of all, there's one God.
So the Sumerians wrote it down.
Okay, cool. So we have some words on tablets that depict how we mapped out the universe with observations that we made thousands of years ago, and that definitively proves that the Earth is curving and that water is bending at the surface at 8 inches per mile. I just don't like connect some dots here for me, bro. Do me a favor, help me out here.
Okay, so you have Enlil, who is Yahweh, who mapped out his voyage from his planet to Earth.
So
Okay,
here's
they
where we got a
show,
problem.
they show the heliocentric model.
Here's where we got a problem though on that story right there. Again, you got a pressurized system adjacent to a vacuum without a solid barrier in between. How do you explain that? Is it
Full
in the
circle.
Sumerian tablet?
Way to bring it full circle. I like that. Yeah, we still have the gas pressure issue.
There's
The
all
the
kinds
laws
of
of-
issues. When I look
the
out my
laws of
window, the
thermo-
fucking world looks
Dude,
flat.
this is the major issue you have right here that you need to get by. And once you figure out that we're in a contained system and that there are no other quote unquote planets, no one came from another planet.
Yeah, the
Oh.
law. Did they write anything about the laws of thermodynamics in those tablets? Curious.
Laws of thermodynamics. I'm not sure about that. There's a lot of text to go
Doesn't
through, but
seem
if you
like
guys
you
will let me
are.
finish. So, yes, a global flood definitely happened. How do we know that?
A global flood. How do you flood a globe?
Easily.
How?
Wait, no,
Okay,
easily.
the flat Earth plane. Okay, let's
like
pretend.
that's like if I asked a 5-year-old how you flood a globe. That's how a 5-year-old.
Okay, the flat Earth
It
was
sounds like
flooded. Let's just do that.
What?
Okay, so we had the ice wall around the whole world, and then it melted.
Did you
And
just
there was something.
did you
Well,
just air that shit?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let's stop you right there because if you take a glass and you fill this glass all the way up with ice and then you put water into it and then it melts, is the glass going to overflow?
If the ice wall's high enough, sure.
No, I'm asking you if you put a bunch of ice inside of a cup and you fill that cup up with water all the way to the brim. So you got the ice there and you got the water there and it's all the way up to the brim of that cup and that ice melts. Is the water going to overflow?
It's a very simple.
No, it wouldn't. But the flat Earth model shows a.
No, dude. Answer my question.
No, obviously it wouldn't.
Why not?
It's pressure
Because the
mediation.
ice is more dense than or less. I mean, it's the ice.
You know what's actually going to happen? That the water level is actually going to lower.
It's going to go down. Exactly.
Yeah. So
I mean,
so
but
so how
the thing
so
is flat,
so
again,
in your example you said all the ice melted and there was a flood.
Yeah,
How would that,
flat. You don't get it though. If
how
you,
would
if you
that
understand
how
your
would
own
that
model,
happen?
then it works because the ice wall extends much further beyond and much
Wait,
higher
wait,
than the actual
How is
land
it
Why
gonna
mass.
are
flood though?
you? I have a question. Why are
We have
you?
the ice wall is out there in the ocean, right?
Why are you talking about an ice wall when you? I just don't understand. Like, can you pick a
The
paradigm?
volume didn't change, man.
Solely, I told you when I first came in. I told you. Okay, there's no way that I can prove to you that the world is round. As much as
I can prove to you that
flat.
it's not round.
And we
I
can
looked out
prove
my
it's
window. It
not
looks
round.
flat. I agree.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
And we can also prove that gas pressure needs containment, therefore space is impossible.
The definition of gas pressure is the force exerted on the barriers of the.
I'm going to give you that. Let's play that game. Let's play it. I
It's
agree
not
with
even
you.
a game.
It's
It's a
not-
scientific
I was
fact.
gonna say,
Okay,
it's
no,
not-
let's play it. Let's play it. No. You, I agree with you.
It's
okay?
the game
world's
that
fucking
you,
flat.
dude. You're
do it.
okay. I take this guy for like a yes man, and that's why he doesn't.
No, because we got to get to the ice wall. So the ice
What-
wall
there-
extends farther above the landmass. So when it melts, it floods the Earth. Does it not?
No.
All right.
You know what? You know how the Earth got flooded? God opened up the windows of heaven and the
fountains of the deep.
fountains of the deep.
Okay, so we're talking about hydro plate theory.
No, we're talking about on day 2, God made the firmament and He put it in the midst of the water and separated the water.
Okay, we got to take the religious bull crap out of this. Can we do that?
I would appreciate that actually.
Dude, you literally brought up the Sumerian tablets and the Sumerians.
It's not religious.
And the gods told them what to write down. If that's
See,
not
this is
religious,
the gaps in your knowledge. These are
I
physical
don't know what
people.
you think religious is.
Well,
but
you wanna
talking
listen?
about gods, talking
There's
about
no
gods,
religion here.
religions, and guess what? I'm not actually talking about a religion. I'm not bringing up Catholicism or Christianity or Judaism or Buddhism or anything like
You
that.
just told me a bunch of
I
Christianity
said
bullcrap.
God, and guess what? Jesus didn't belong to a religion. But God,
I agree.
He
Let's
made
agree
the
there.
first. If you can say gods can come down and fucking talk to the Sumerians and say, "Here, man, here's a hammer and chisel. Go ahead and fucking knock it into these tablets here." I can talk about God building the firmament on day 2.
So there we go. Okay.
Here we go.
So,
What?
I
so
think
we agree. We agree there. So I mean,
well, I think his point, brother. I think you're overlooking the point. Is that you can invoke a million gods, and it's not going to make a difference to people who don't subscribe to that ideology, right? Like that's why it's more important to discuss things that are backed up by scientific experimentation, like the laws of thermodynamics that you don't understand. You know what I mean? Like it like
dude, I
do you think
fully
that that
understand.
just,
I don't.
just one
I'm not a
just one
thermodynamics
second,
expert, but
brother.
I understand the concept.
Okay, so you understand that if I shake up a soda can and I crack it open, that the carbon dioxide from within the can will seek entropy and the pressure will mediate with the atmosphere out here. You understand that?
Wait. Why did he refer to thermodynamics as a concept?
He
Literally
said-
reality.
Well, he said,
Concept?
the only thing that's right is the Sumerians, and some gods came down from
Why is
another
it a
planet.
concept?
No, that the Bible ties into all of it. It's and
What?
also the Hindus tie into it. Everybody's a
Wait.
little bit right.
Why did
I
you
think
call
these
thermodynamics
conversations.
a concept, though? What makes
Yeah,
thermodynamics a concept?
I think he was mainly referencing. That's just semantics, brother. I think he was mainly referencing
No,
just
they
the
say
that.
stuff like that on purpose.
No, I think no. Just listen. I can vouch for that, dude. It's all right. Like he made a grammatical mistake. He's just saying that like it's a concept of pressure mediation. It's a thought experiment. Is what I gave him, and that's what he agrees upon. So under that understanding, at what point does gas pressure not require a physical container?
And that's outside of my expertise. And like I said, I'm not.
It's outside of reality, bro. It's outside of
Dude,
reality, brother.
dude,
It's not just
dude.
your expertise, bro. It's
Let me
outside
tell you
of
something. Let me tell you
yeah.
something. The only way I'll tell you this what, and this is the truth. The only way I can prove to you that the Earth is round or flat is I gotta fly out there and I gotta look at it with my own eyes. And
Where
I'll
are you
tell
gonna
you
So
fly?
what,
like
you
so
gotta
Where?
come with me
measuring.
too.
Hold on a
You gotta
second.
come with me.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Where are you gonna fly to?
High enough,
What's high enough?
High enough.
whatever it takes. But I'm
What
just
is
saying, if
what is that though?
be flat. Let me tell you something. If I
God.
flew out there and I told you the Earth was round, you wouldn't believe me, even if I told you I saw it with my own eyes.
Well, that's
Okay,
well.
that
How could I?
is
Can you
that's
hold on a second?
anecdotal.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Do you know what? The circumference of the Earth is?
Dude, I've looked into it. I don't know the exact numbers.
So, so I'm guessing you wouldn't know what the radius of the Earth is either, right?
I've seen it, dude. I don't put this shit in my head.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. So, if you don't know the circumference and you don't know the radius, I'm assuming you don't know what the drop over distance is, right?
Dude, I checked into this, man. I'm telling you, I figured it out.
So check
You
this out, man.
he said he
So,
figured it
so
out.
check this out. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. So if you don't know the circumference, the radius, or the drop over distance rate, how high exactly do you think you have to go up? Because you don't even know where to fucking start looking for the curvature,
Well,
man.
I was using the
Did you
mountains for this one.
speaker, did you know that I'm sorry, I just called you I meant Matt. I read that you can tell I'm new to Twitter. I'm still calling it that. But did you know that like we can just measure curvature of the Earth at the surface of it? It's a geometric discussion, brother. We don't have to go really there. We don't have to go in any amounts of elevation, really. We could just measure things that are already built. We could measure how airplanes fly. Um, like, there's a lot of fundamentally like this is rudimentary, bro. You could do a lot of like very baseline, very simple tasks with a fundamental understanding of geometry to definitively prove if the Earth is the dimensions that they claim it to be. And if it's not the dimensions that they claim it to be, then it makes the entire heliocentric model fall apart. And I could break that far down for you too. But it seems to me like you think you have an idea of how you would disprove if the Earth was flat or round, but you really don't have a realistic way of doing
At this point in time, without seeing with my own eyes, I can't because any evidence that is provided can easily be told is
it.
fake.
Okay, so why
So I
don't
could tell you
you
that.
why don't you
Here's the thing: is that you would have to actually know what the size of your ball's supposed to be and the curvature rate to know exactly how high you would be. I mean, do you even know how? what the drop over distance is? I mean,
Dude,
how high
I
do
honestly,
you want to know? Do you want to know what NASA said or Neil
dude,
deGrasse
you know what?
Tyson
You're
says?
asking me questions like, do you know what the mRNA synthase is? Do you know how many fucking
That's not no.
proteins are
Those
in a
are non
fucking
sequiturs.
in the?
That's gish galloping
That's
right there,
yeah.
dude. You're
That's a
very
non
entertaining.
sequitur. That's a false equivalency. That's not what he's doing.
I'm
He's
just saying.
asking
I
you.
know.
Ian,
I've
let me
seen it. I've
just
seen it.
listen.
I
Just
I,
listen.
I didn't memorize it.
Just listen.
Well,
He's asking you
it's not that
questions that
hard of
are
a number to memorize, man.
yeah. He's asking you questions that are like how do I explain this to you, brother? If we're
Like
going to have a
101.
geometric discussion in regards to the actual physical geometry of the Earth, you would have to have a mathematical understanding of what the shape of the Earth is and the components that make it that size and shape, right? Like if you're going to have if you're going to measure for curvature of Earth, it would be important to know what the curvature of the Earth is and how much it should drop over the.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
you agree with that?
I mean,
So it's
I
like
agree. I agree.
okay, so then
Yeah.
why are you talking about mRNA? What are we doing?
Because I'm telling you, because you're trying to tell me, do you remember something that you looked into 2 years ago? I mean, no, I don't.
Yes.
That's kind of common knowledge. You can just look
Yeah,
it up at any given moment.
Absolutely,
and
I
if
could
you
chat
didn't know
GPT
it,
that shit right now.
yeah, you could, well, or like we could just, you could have this conversation in good faith. We could give you the information and you could go out tomorrow and try to prove it
Dude,
yourself.
I'm telling you, I've looked into this. I was trying to look at the Rocky Mountains. I knew how high the Rocky Mountains were. Dictated how far do I have to go back before I can't see the Rocky Mountains anymore. I mean, I've done
Well, that's
these
a,
thoughts,
no,
man.
that's not how you would not. Okay, so that's a weird way to do it because you'd have to compensate for like angular resolution and like convergence and like atmospheric conditions of the day, and there's a lot of like variables in that. My most conclusive to me is like infrastructure, like gas lines, for example. Like, because I worked at a steel mill for a few years, and when we build gas lines, we take 40-foot segment of perfectly flat, cylindrical but flat steel pipe, and we just weld them together, right? For hundreds of miles. And like definitively, that would not be possible if the Earth was curving at the rate that they say it is. Um, so like that's kind of what I mean. Like there's a lot of things that we do in everyday life that that would not work. I mean, plane
For sure,
surveying,
but
they
there's one fallacy that you have. There's a little problem you got there, okay? And I just want to let you guys know before I answer this next part here. I mean, I don't think the moon landing was real. I think that shit was faked. So I mean, I'm all there with you guys. But as far as
what was
this
my
goes,
fallacy?
the Earth is not a perfect ball. That's one thing. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, we'll say maybe it's not. Okay, so you're assuming the world is a perfect ball, but now they've changed the shape of the Earth. They're saying actually it's more like a pear shaped. It's pretty
So
bumpy.
how come when NASA gives us images of it, it's a perfect sphere?
It's changed. I'm telling. I've seen it. They've evolved to the what the Earth looks like
Isn't
over
that
time.
kind of weird how they keep on just changing the shape of the
Hundred
Earth?
percent, 100%, and that makes it all fucking sketchy as hell.
It
Absolutely,
makes
they're
it
trying to
totally
hide
So
something.
sketchy. It's
wait, I want to hear
you,
what was the
and,
fallacy of what I was saying exactly that you didn't call out by name? I'm
Your
curious.
fallacy is that the ball is a perfect ball. I mean, it's
What's the
not.
name of the
it has a drop
fallacy?
over
What's the
distance.
name of the fallacy? These things have names, brother. You can't
But
just
you
like
do
I know
agree
you guys.
that it's
You just
if you
met me.
agree that
Like I'm
it's
the fallacy guy on TikTok.
if you agree that it's turning into a ball, man, it has to have a drop over distance rate.
And honestly, a 12-mile bulge at the equator that doesn't help you in this discussion when we're talking about like all of human infrastructure and engineering not compensating for curvature. I'm pretty sure that's like it's like a worldwide phenomena and a well-known fact that we build things at like 0 degrees perfectly level. So it really doesn't matter if there's a bulge here and there or if topography exists. Like that's not really that's just you grasping at straws while you're falling down. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
well,
Like
let me rewind. Let's hold on a second. So I'm going by the fallacy at definition, which is basically there's a flaw in your logic
there's
because
an error in
you
my
are not
reasoning.
because you are not considering
But
other
I just
scenarios.
explained to you how that's not an error in my reasoning. Like I just explained how that's not even something that we would have to consider.
So I mean,
Hundreds of
you said
miles.
pipelines, right? So you're talking about pipelines, and in
Hundreds of
your
miles.
field
Yeah, the one that I remember working on was from Pennsylvania to Kentucky. I think that's about 600 miles.
exactly right. So who's to say that that area of the Earth is a perfect ball, or what if there's
Because it would
some
be
sort of
roughly north to south, and you'd still have 600 miles. Look, dude, if you believe that boats disappear bottom up, I don't want to hear you arguing that there's a bulge at the equator and that's what makes it look flat. That's just
Well,
a
here's
really
the thing. I looked at Eric Dubé's video, which was very convincing for a lot of people, and I found some of the stuff to be very compelling. There was a couple of issues that we had with the videos, but I would say there's two issues that I had with his video. One is that he tried to show the boat as it was, you could see it further than you were supposed to, but you could clearly see that the sea level was actually higher and going over the boat.
Convergence, bro.
And then
See, right there is that you don't even understand the ball right there, because you shouldn't be able to, pull anything back up over a curve.
but you could see the water was over the boat.
Speaking of,
Like you could
speaking
see
of
it
I
was.
see.
that's
What-
sort of like
what
a
you're-
begging the question fallacy, but okay.
Yeah, that what you're looking right there is refraction. But
Okay.
do you think you should be able to see say
Mount Everest from your bedroom.
hold on. Well, do you think you should be able to see a mountain range 275 miles away with a observation height of 9,200 feet?
We'll say, assuming that the world is a perfect ball, probably not.
Oh my god.
So we have the world.
That's like the,
So hold on a second there, Salas. We have the world record photo. It's up there in the jumbotron, like 7 back there. I think I got it down there in the purple pill there. It's observation of the Picasbard Mountains at 275 miles. Observation height is 9,200 feet. The horizon, which is your guys's where your curvature starts at, should be at 117.5 miles, and we can see the mountains at 275 miles. That whole mountain range should be beneath 3 miles of physical curvature. You shouldn't be able to see them at all.
I'm just gonna say this hardcore math, dude, is beyond my comprehension.
hardcore math.
I'm
Really
gonna tell you right now,
What do
it's
you mean?
not good for me.
brilliant.
Well, the-
Honestly, Brian, I came up here because I thought this would be more fun. This ain't fun at all, bro. Honestly, like,
I'm giving you actual numbers that bust the ability to have this Earth of ours turn into a ball, because the Earth is supposed to curve at 8 inches per mile squared.
What about
Like I say, we got a mountain range that should be beneath the Earth curvature by 3 miles. The top of the peak of this mountain to the top of your curvature should be like 3,000 feet. You shouldn't see it at all, but we can see it.
Assuming the world's a perfect ball,
all right,
you're probably
right. I'm really
Yeah,
sick
he's
of
not-
that. I'm sick of that response, to be
He's-
honest. Since that you're,
he's
since I
not.
think
He's
you
not
were-
trying at all,
Dude.
bro.
Yeah, since that's
Dude,
your,
so you're saying there's so you're saying there's patches of the Earth that are completely flat?
yeah, we live on a disco ball. So your best that's your best retort that I've heard so far. Would you care to like address motion of the Earth? Do you think the Earth is moving?
Is it moving? That's a good question. I mean,
Okay, cool.
like I said, like we'll go back to first off why
You
I
see
think
how
the
he
ball-
repeated the question back to that, like he answered it, so that way he can completely ignore answering the question.
No,
Notice that?
I'm saying why this seems more interesting. The ball Earth is more interesting in my opinion because when you take a
Because
look
it's
at
full
it,
of lies?
Yeah.
Well, no,
it's more
because the
fantastical.
magnetosphere-
I'll give you that.
the
It's full of
magnetosphere.
lies.
No,
It
because
says we turn into a ball, but we don't, because we can see too far and we can
Oh,
literally fucking
can
measure
I-
flat.
can I
It
just
says
ball.
we.
It's not a
It says
perfect
we're.
why
ball.
can't I say this
Do you,
last
do, you,
part?
do you know how? Do you even know what kind of motions that they say the Earth is supposed to be doing right now at this?
Yeah,
very
I really love shifting this topic towards motion because it's so funny to watch people try to prove the Earth is in motion when like all of the physicists in regards to like
Okay.
astronomy definitively say that you can't.
Let
But
me-
okay.
Let me tell you what I've seen. The sun acts as a forward running engine, okay, and the magnetosphere acts as a full on a full. No, the magnetosphere acts as a full on force field.
No, just hold on. What, bro? Do you think the Earth is moving? Was my question. Do you think the Earth was moving? Is
Following
my
the sun. The sun is pulling it. So that
The
but
sun
the-
is pulling the Earth. So
you think the Earth
you
is-
think we're moving?
You think the Earth is orbiting the sun? That's what I'm gathering, right?
It
like
follows behind it in a helio type like swirl. It's amazing.
Where's the evidence to this that we can all observe ourselves?
I'm just saying. I'm just telling you guys, it's more interesting to me than a flat Earth sitting in the middle of nowhere.
I think we should just let him believe the Earth's a sphere, guys. I'm
No,
not gonna
just
lie.
laugh. Just laugh.
So,
Just fucking
so you do
laugh.
realize that there is absolutely no proof whatsoever that the Earth is in motion, right?
I mean, like I said, you guys, I'm not fully sold.
You know they did an
on-
experiment over
on-
100 years ago to prove the Earth was in motion, and that
Did you know that Dayton Miller?
was in motion.
Did you know that Dayton Miller repeated the Michelson-Morley experiment over 200,000 times, incorporating every known variable possible, including like temperature fluctuations, and he still could not prove that the Earth was in motion? It seems to be in a state of rest.
Hey, did you know
And the
that guys like you
Michelson-Morley
guys would kill
experiment was
people
the
like me?
and the Michelson-Morley experiment was the experiment to prove the Earth wasn't in motion. So yeah, not only was it proven
Exactly,
once, it was proven
and
another
Dayton Miller just
2,000 times.
repeated it. Yeah, Dayton Miller repeated it over 200,000 times at various
Hold on,
elevations. He
hold on,
repeated
guys.
it inside of
Hold on.
labs and outside of labs. Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. So Map, are you aware that every time somebody's trying to prove that Earth is in motion, that came up the Earth is not in motion?
I mean, I'm happy to see the evidence and check it out.
Yeah, there was a whole paper about it called the Michelson-Morley experiment. It completely changed the paradigm of all physics that you know of today.
So again,
folder.
hold on.
Can you type that into the
hold on.
messages there? Exactly the exact spelling,
hold on
so
a
I can
sec.
check it out.
Again, up here in the Jumbotron and down there in the purple pill, there's an experiment called Airy's failure. Was the precursor to the Michelson and Morley experiment. But this was done by Sir George Bedell Airy. He was the head of the Royal Astronomical Society of his time. He was the king dude of looking up at the stars and shit. Man, this guy was he was the dude of dudes, man. So he did an experiment, looking for motion of the Earth, and used a telescope, fill it up with water, and prove that the Earth was standing still. I got a little video up there if you want to take a look at it.
Do you trust Sir Isaac Newton, Matt?
Isaac Newton?
Yeah. Do you trust?
I guess so. I mean, he's a smart dude. Sure, why not?
Because Proposition 43, Theorem 22 of his Principia of Mathematics, which was actually the only theorem that never actually got published, it was removed before the final release. He made an interesting quote where he compared his heliocentric model to that of the Tychonic system, Tycho Brahe's geocentric system. And I could read the entire quote to you, but in a simple paraphrase, he basically said that it's like he actually kind of postulated on relative motion before Einstein, and said that like you can't really definitively prove that the Earth orbits the sun or that it's vice versa from where you are on Earth. So I guess in summary, like if without an inertial reference frame, without a place of like pure inertia to rest yourself upon and view all of this happening from an outside perspective, again in a state of rest yourself, you can't determine what object is in motion. And we've clearly already stated that there's been several experiments done over the past 100 years bare minimum that have definitively proved that the Earth is not in motion. So it's weird to me when people like really want to die on this hill that we're orbiting the sun, when it's entirely hypothetical. Like the idea itself doesn't exist as anything more than an idea.
That's my issue. Okay, so one, I commend everybody who questions the narrative and tests the narrative, and I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yes,
I'm not dying.
These people.
I'm not dying on this hill. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I find the globe side of things more convincing than the flat Earth.
So check this out, man. Check this out. So, like I said, the Airy's failure there's a little video up there that goes over it that proved definitively, without a doubt, that the Earth is not moving and it is the stars moving. But the next experiment that came after that was the Michelson and Morley experiment, and they actually proved that Airy's failure was actually true. So we got, and we still use interferometers today. And in order to get away from, they were looking for 30 kilometers per second to tell that we're orbiting the sun at 66,000 miles an hour, and they did not get that. They got 4 to 8 kilometers per second. In order to get rid of that friendship, they actually came up with a mathematical equation that actually shrunk the apparatus. So you believe a system that's going to shrink an apparatus? Do you think do you think something can shrink?
I have some quotes from Einstein I'm looking for as well. Here's one. The struggle so violent in the early days of science between the views of Ptolemy and Copernicus would then be quite meaningless. Either coordinate system could be used with equal justification. The two sentences, quote, the sun is at rest and the earth moves, end quote, or, quote, the sun moves and the earth is at rest, end quote, would simply mean two different conventions concerning two different coordinate systems. That's Albert Einstein, Evolution of Physics. Every known physicist, astrophysicist, astronomer with any amount of intellectual integrity and honesty over the past 100 years or more has claimed that it's simply a matter of. Some have even gone as far as to say that it's simply a matter of preference, whichever you want to be true. But they all come to the same conclusion that I almost want to get into the Copernican principle with you, but like, I don't know how much this conversation is really worth.
It's not worth anything, bro. Please, it's really not. Like, don't do it.
I'm thinking the same thing. I mean,
It's not that serious, bro. That's why I came up here to bullshit, bro. I used to try to go deep with these niggas too. It's really not worth it.
Another quote from Einstein: "I have come to believe that the motion of the Earth cannot be detected by any optical experiment." He also said in a different quote that you can't prove it terrestrially. And most people believe in this because of the Copernican principle, which is simply that the Earth cannot occupy a unique or special position. It would lead towards bias, blah, blah, blah. Some dead guy 500 years ago said that we can't put the Earth in a central position. It has to occupy a meaningless, insignificant corner in the cosmos. And we just subscribe to that blindly, even though all observations over the past, since we've been looking at the sky, have definitively proved that the Earth appears to be in the center of all known creation. But hey, man, wherever your bias takes you, that's fine.
So it's getting a little bit late. I'm going to be shutting her down here. But before we do that, up there in the Jumbotron here, up in the nest here, I put a video up there. It's on YouTube. It's called The Principle. It's from Robert St. Genis. He's actually he's a person that actually believes in the globe, but he's a geocentrist and doesn't think we're in motion at all. And it has a bunch of physicists in there, physicists such as Lawrence Krauss, has Robert Bennett in there. Shout out to Robert Bennett. Has Michio Kaku. They talk about how nobody in cosmology uses the scientific method. Michio Kaku says that they can be off by a factor of 10 to the 120th power there, and that's a 1 with 120 zeros behind it. It's the greatest mismatch between theory and experiment in the history of science. Everything about cosmology is pseudoscience. It's all theories to fit mathematical equations to fit their theories and such like that that come out of nowhere that really have no substance at all. So it's a good little movie there. You might want to take a look at that. But shout out to everybody for hanging out tonight. I think my co-host might be asleep. Are you still with us, Ken?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh yeah.
I've just been listening.
All right.
I can second the principle. If that's the 2014 quote unquote documentary, that thing is beautiful. I love it. Actually, I reference it quite often. I love the part where I forget who says it, but he says, "If you can understand nothing, then you can understand the universe." And it's just the most contradictory statement.
Oh, it's better than that. He's all, once you understand nothing, you understand everything.
Oh, is that what it is? I forgot. But yeah, it's been a while. It is a fantastic. I love that. It's actually That's kind of
The
leading.
way they talk about that, when they're talking about, I think everybody should fucking go into every fucking conversation and have that kind of enthusiasm and proud of it. I mean, they are proud to say it. Once you understand nothing, you understand everything.
Yes.
Well, and these guys got paid, and they're atheists. So I mean, what are you gonna do? But yeah, it's a very it goes over the Mickelson and Morley experiment really well. And you need to really actually learn that experiment. And they actually shrink the apparatus, man. It's the most ridiculous cope in the history of science, man. Things don't shrink unless the weather's really
I
cold.
was
You know.
gonna say there are times of year where it gets a little smaller, but generally speaking, no, they don't tend to do that.
But I am going to be hanging it up, man. It's like 10 o'clock. I'm getting tired. I've been up since like 2 o'clock in the morning, man. So
And it was really nice to meet everybody. Sorry, I'm tired myself.
yeah, I gave you a follow back there. But yeah, we're here every Friday. We also do a lot of spaces in between. We got the Aussies. I think we got Krusty down there. Is probably going to be starting up a space here in about an hour or so. I don't know if he's going to go tonight or whatnot. But they also do something on I don't know what they call it, Mondays or Tuesday. It's like Tuesday morning for me. The freaking guys are upside down. Their clocks are all fucked up. So, they're all messed up. Fuck.
Yeah, it was nice. This was nice.
Who knows what's going down there with the fucking dingoes and the platypuses and shit, man.